A gang of men have been imprisoned after a man was killed with a machete. Scott Neale, Forhad Miah, Lee Wood, James O'Connor and Ricky Lewis were all jailed yesterday following the murder of Frazer Brabant. Winchester Crown Court heard officers were called at 10:51 p.m. on October the 31st, 2019 to an address in Gershwin Road, Basingstoke. Mr. Brabant was found lying in the front garden with a severe head injuries. He was hospitalised, remaining in a coma until January the 21st, 2020, when he died at the age of 31. A court heard a group of males barged into the property, sprayed a substance into the face of the homeowner. Brabant was chased out of the flat and viciously attacked outside. A post-mortem examination found that he had been struck multiple times to the head and face by a heavy sharp edged object. The weapon was described as a machete or a type of sword. A police investigation found on July the 31st, 2019, Mr. Brabant robbed Neale, 35, of Spindle Close, Oakridge, of cannabis. The 5 men sentenced had been tracking down Mr. Brabant as part of a revenge plot, according to digital analysis by the police in the 3 months between the robbery and the murder. The home address of Mr. Brabant's partner was attacked by men armed with weapons, smashing up her house and cars on August the 1st. A day later, the same group targeted a property belonging to one of Mr. Brabant's associates. Windows across the property were broken. Further attempts were made to find the 31-year-old on October the 25th and 28th, 2019, before the fatal attack. Scott Neale, 35, of Spindle Close, Oakridge, had pleaded guilty to manslaughter. However, the jury found him guilty of a murder. He was also convicted of a violent disorder, conspiracy to cause GBH with intent, and has been sentenced to life with a minimum term of 29 years. Forhad Miah, 32, of Chestnuts Close, Oakley, who had been convicted of murder, violent disorder and conspiracy to cause GBH with intent, has been sentenced to life with a minimum term of 28 years. James O'Connor, 25, of Fairfield, Whitechurch, who has been convicted of murder, has been sentenced to life with a minimum term of 25 years. Lee Wood, 32, of No Fixed Abode, who had been convicted of murder, violent disorder and conspiracy to cause GBH with intent, has been sentenced to life with a minimum term of 29 years. Ricky Lewis, 40, of Candover Court, Basingstoke, who had been convicted of conspiracy to cause GBH with intent and not guilty of violent disorder, has been sentenced to 6 years. In the sentencing hearing, the judge commended the work of Hampshire and Isle of Wight Constabulary. Detective Sergeant Dan Hunt from the Northern Investigation Team said, "These men spent months terrorising others and causing damage to properties to locate and harm Brabant in revenge for him robbing Neale of cannabis. When they did find him, they carried out a brutal attack which resulted in his death. This case highlights the misery, harm and devastation drugs and weapons cause to communities. Where there are drugs, there is almost always violence, and I hope this case sends a strong message to anyone involved in drugs or weapons. The consequences destroy many lives forever." This case was built over many years, and it demonstrates the relentless pursuit of those who choose to cause misery, irrespective of how complex or proactive a case may be. I would like to commend attending emergency services, those involved in the investigation for their professionalism, and the CPS for their expertise and close liaison to build a strong case. Most importantly, the witness who stood up to those individuals who've chosen to destroy lives, DS Hunt, said the force remains committed to tackling drugs and knife crime. Please like this video, please comment, and I would love it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.